Sorry, we are a little bit behind the schedule today, but give us a second. Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm looking for the second spotlight that we are actually doing. Okay. How are you doing, everybody?
Как жизнь?
Oh, somebody please watch the microphones. Okay, so today is our fourth meeting. We were thinking that enough one class to go through the vows, but apparently we went into a lot of stories and funny details, and it's already our fourth class on the vows. So we did refuge vows that usually if you think about taking vows, you probably have most of questions on refuge vows. So we spent 2 classes talking about them. And then we did a class on lay person's vows, also called Pretimoksha vows. And now we will spend 1 hour reviewing 10 good deeds. Actually, historically, they were named 10 bad deeds. Because you formula do not kill, do not steal, etc. And this is what we will do. And honestly, I remember I was thinking, okay, that's so easy, do not kill, do not steal, do not do any sexual misconduct. But you will see there are much more funny little details in these vows. And
if they make the top 10, it's because you're doing it constantly. Out of the 84,000 mental afflictions you can have, and these are the top 10. So
yeah, and
they're on your regular playlist.
Yeah. Of course, we do not kill. Let's start with the first already, right? Of course, we do not kill people every day, and even we try not to kill animals. People are killing insects, thinking that they are not important. But the whole idea of these vows, especially this 10 that we do constantly, is that there are different levels or how you call it, extent?
Yeah, degrees.
Different degree how you can do what will bring you bad results.
Severity.
Yeah, like a wave, or like when you drop a stone in the lake, right? Like the mirror of the
surface of the lake ripples out.
Yeah, the surface of the lake ripples out, and there are bigger waves, and then they get smaller and smaller. So killing would be the stone in the lake, right? And there are lesser ripples that do not bring that bad results, but bad enough that you do not like them.
You see the same thing in legal systems, right? The idea that there's different degrees of severity to the same action, right? So, for example, in America, if you kill somebody, there's murder. There are different levels of charges, right? If you plan it ahead of time, that's a more severe charge than if you did it like in a moment of passion, right? Like if anger, yeah, like if you had a moment of anger and killed somebody,
but you didn't plan.
But you didn't plan it. That's not as severe a crime. It's still a severe crime. You're still going to go to jail, but it's not as severe a crime as if you like planned it ahead of time, thought about it, gathered together the means to do it over a period of time of days. And then even less than that, it's still a crime if you kill somebody and didn't plan to do it. Like it's called manslaughter. Like say you were just watching your phone while you were driving and accidentally killed somebody. That's vehicular manslaughter. Now, it's not anywhere near as severe as murder, but it's still a felony, right? You were still negligent and killed somebody.
Yeah.
So,
like if you planned ahead, it's the worst. If you didn't plan, but there was a moment of anger, then it is still a murder, but less severe. And if you didn't plan, didn't want, just accidentally, like happened to be an accident or something, then it will be less severe. But still, there will be consequences, right?
Yeah.
And same positive side, right? If you planned ahead to protect somebody else's life, then you will get lots of good seeds, right? If you didn't plan, but emotionally, like you were drawn by your emotions and you protected somebody, it's still a good deed, but less cool than the one that you planned ahead and did everything possible to accomplish it, right?
It's why taking vows are important, because it makes your good deeds stronger, right? It's the exact opposite of committing a murder that you planned ahead. You're planning ahead to save lives and vowing to do it.
Yeah, and basically, this is why McMichael says, I can mute you for a second. You want me to mute you? This is why McMichael is saying that translating these books that he translates right now, if you are a simultaneous translator, or if you are translating, like his books that are ready, what we have just done with all kinds of karma, it is being printed right now. We are getting very cool videos of this huge printers printing these pages with the pictures. Like the publisher is a very cool guy. He's very, how to say, he knows how to behave with customers, because we get everything we want. We wanted videos. We have even from printing machines, videos. So, and this book, by the way, I recommend you, whether you can read it in English, in Russian, or in Ukrainian. Please buy this book, because most of karmic correlations you ever wonder are in this book, and it is 100% correct. Because people are asking, like, can I get a special book? I'm happy to pay a sponsorship price, but I want a special book. I want it to be signed by the author. And I say it is kind of impossible, because the author was Buddha Shakyamuni. He cannot really sign right now.
Boy, I tell you what, if you can come up with a copy of the New Testament signed by Jesus, boy, that would be, you could retire.
So this book, All Kinds of Karma, contains more than this 10 good deeds and their consequences, and they're all 100% correct. Because if somebody tells you that they know something about your karma, you can actually probably you will not trust this person, because the only one who can really see it is an enlightened being.
You can get a clue though from the circumstances, right?
Yeah, and how you get this clue actually, because you have this 10 good deeds or bad deeds, depending how you, and you have in the scriptures all the consequences of every single one of them. So this is correct, or if it is written in this all kinds of Karma Sutra.
Like, for example, killing. You can say, well, I've never killed anybody. I don't have a problem with killing, except you can look at our external circumstances, right? For human lives, they say that they can extend anywhere from 50,000 at the top. Is that the correct number?
80.
Was it 80? Was it
80.
80,000? 80,000.
Basically, they start with almost limitless, then it's 80,000 when it's countable.
Yeah, 80,000. And then at the bottom, for the people who've had the most problem with killing, but they get a human rebirth, they live 50 years. So we're pretty close to we're pretty close to the bottom right now.
Yeah, the bottom will be 10 years.
Was it 10 years? I thought it was 50. Is it 10 years?
Yeah, unfortunately.
All right. Yeah. Okay. That's really short. That's like dog years.
Yeah, 10 years. I remember we had a lot of discussions because this is ACI 8, right? And we had a lot of discussions when we figured that we are almost at the bottom right now in the humans' history. The short story in ACI 8 is that there are eons when you, like, together with the ethics, this is how it is related to 10 good deeds, because they basically define the lifespan of the humankind. So in the beginning, when the world is created, human beings, they live almost limitless. Then it goes down to 80,000. 80,000 goes down. Okay. Then it goes down slowly from 80,000 to 10 years. And the Buddhas, enlightened beings, angels, if you want, they can come only when the average lifespan is about 100 years old. Or even less. And always when they go down.
You read stories of people who lived 900 years, like Methuselah. Read stories in the Old Testament of people who live that long. You know, there's Nagarjuna apparently wrote over a period of like 600 years. 800. And Western scholars think that that's a mistake, that there were multiple Nagarjuna's writing or different writers claiming that. I think it's possible that he lived that long, because your aging and death is there's a cause and effect relationship, right? And it can change. So it's possible. I think people have done it. I think people have within recorded history lived unimaginably long lives based on modern standards. Their minds were clearer.
Yeah,
their actions were less contaminated.
And there is a very common question, and sorry, we are not giving a usual presentation of this 10 good deeds and bad deeds, but we will go through all of them, don't worry. The common question is, okay, you say that death is optional, right? Don't get me wrong, it does not mean that I don't want to die and tomorrow I'm not dying. This is not how it works, right? I need to plant seeds. But okay, you are stating that it is optional. Then why I do not know anybody who learned how not to die? And the answer is easy. Why I do not know a dog who can write? That's pretty much it. Is it a pen or a chewing toy?
Yeah, it's your karma. You can only see the world that you've made.
Okay, so killing. What always when you think about these 10 good deeds, first try to feel grateful that you have these ideas, because you can pretty much precisely know what you need to work on, depending on what's going on, what you see, what happens to you, and you have all the knowledge to correct it, right? So always we think about what are if we do this thing, what are the consequences to us, what we see around us, what habits we make, and what will be the big consequences, how it will change the whole reality, right? 4 things. So if somebody kills a person, the consequences for this person who is killing will be that his lifespan will be short, and he will have problems with his they will have problems with their physical health, with everything that sustains life, like food will not be fulfilling, right? Drink like water, the medicines will not work, and they will be prone to diseases, right?
And you can see that in even on a human level, even on this planet, it varies quite a bit. People who go to India say that the food's not filling, that you can eat all you want and you're still hungry.
Or in America.
Yeah, or in America, yeah, no, it's getting to be that way now, where processed foods are they're not filling. I mean, you can go to you can eat a bag of potato chips, 1,000 calories. Like in the airplane that I'm on, they give you a bag of chips. It's like 800 calories, enough for a meal. You eat it, and you're still hungry. Um, and then medicine, right, works different in different countries. Like it's not medicine quite often isn't as effective in India as what it would be in.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
So what would be on a level of habit, right? People, they get into a habit. It makes easier for them to kill more people and go to this downward cycle. On the level of environment, the environment will be dangerous, right? People will be killing other people. There will be wars, conflicts, weapons, all kinds of dangerous stuff. And what will be on the level of the whole reality? What happens to people who are killing other people? They go to hell realms. So what actually, let's say it scientifically, right? We do not want magical thinking. What actually happens is is the seeds of a person who killed people. They get power, ripen, and these people who were killing, they start to see the reality that is completely dangerous and killing, right? Like if you have done already ACI 8, there is a whole class. If you do it with Peter, Myrtle, and Maria, that was the class I taught in ACI 8, and I remember I was horrified when I was preparing it, because when you read it, you realize that it's actually a very how to say, it's a possibility. It's real, right? You can do any action, any deed. You can do something very bad, and it will change your reality completely. It will not feel safe anymore. The same, like we are now in our apartment, and it feels safe. I love this apartment, and the same colors and shapes, the same walls. People who have karma that is that bad will be perceived as these hell realm rooms, right? When all the walls are burning and there's fire and you are getting burned, like, but you do not die, like you cannot even die. So we can do good things and bad things, and our consequences out of our actions can be infinitely good or bad. This is why you can go to hell realms if you kill people, and this is why you can get enlightened if you take care of people, on the other hand.
And one of the things when you get to the advanced teachings, and it's no secret, you can look it up, you get a further set of vows, and there's a Vajrayogini practice that you get. And that practice works faster in a degenerate era. It's so like the worse it is, the faster that practice is. So the good news is that the conditions for getting enlightened are here. All the teachings are here, all the practices are here.
And they're better than times when people live for 80,000 years.
Yeah. So
because you are more motivated.
Yeah.
You can see more suffering, and you have the sense of urgency that those people, they don't have.
And there's some deeper reasons too. So the good news is, well, the bad news is you're human here on this planet. The good news is it's the perfect conditions for getting out of samsara entirely.
Yeah. So how you can respect this first vow and not to even come close to it? Do not try not to hurt in any shape or form other people. Like, do not bring alcohol or cigarettes to other people. Do not provide them with drugs, or anything that is toxic. Try to keep our planet's resources safe, right? Do not get angry because it is coming closer, right? Get angry, strike another person, kill another person, like get into a hatred, and then maybe I can do something. Also, do not kill insects, even at the very least you make efforts, right? Sometimes we do not know when we walk in the grass, and I even try not to walk, to be honest, in the grass anymore, because I know that there are small insects I will not see.
She's very careful about not stepping on a living being. She never says a bug. He goes, "Oh, don't step on the living being."
Also, something maybe more important, try not to use your phone when you are driving. And when you are crossing the street also, I'm seeing people that are crossing the street like this, like, and I mean, try to get the sense of responsibility for other people and their life. And when you do, you may stop eating something harmful, like sweets, a lot of sweets, because also other people will copy you, right? And they will think, oh, she's doing it, it's okay, I also can do it. And then they gain weight and get metabolic syndrome or something.
Diabetes.
Bad.
Yeah.
Do yoga, feed animals, water plants, what else? Do not waste water and energy. Turn off the light when you're not in the room.
Make your wife go to the pool, even though it's 9 o'clock at night.
He did it to me yesterday. He made me go swimming. And I'm very grateful, because I would have a back pain today, definitely. Okay, that was and I think I'm very grateful for my teachers that made me learn to do an instant tonglen when I see a person who's suffering, like mostly you can see, like handicapped people or people in tears, like people that are obviously suffering. If you will get into a habit of doing an instant tongue, that's a great habit to do, because um, on a bigger scale, this is how we get enlightened. If you get into a habit of total constant tongue to this reality, then this is a very good habit to get. This is how you get enlightened. You do a tongue to everybody everywhere.
So killing is the first one. There's 10 of them.
Mhm.
That took us half an hour. Are you guys up for a 5-hour class?
Let's go faster. To be honest, the first they are probably, I don't know. You do it with your body, right? Right. The first three
Yeah,
you
they're
do with
physical.
your body, physical. So the second physical is stealing. Stealing means that you take something that was not given to you. And then, as a karmic consequence to yourself, what you get, you have problems with money. McMichael says, "Do not chase me and ask how I can earn money. Stop stealing and be generous." That's it. Um, Not enough resources, right? Stealing may be in different levels. You can really steal, but it's not about us, right? We can be stingy, greedy, and there is a slight difference. In Russian, we don't have this difference, but in English, stingy means I do not want to share, and greedy means I want more. So both of them are also kind of karma of stealing.
Mm.
And spending too much resources, like wasting resources, also contribute to the same kind of karma. You want to add anything?
Anything?
You're not big and stealing, my love, right?
Yeah, I haven't. That's never.
That was never his issue. This is why.
Uh, yeah, and I know we've talked about it in other classes. It also tends to come in ways that you wouldn't think, right? Like particularly work. Like you're supposed to be working, but you're getting paid to be at work, but you spend your time on your telephone, or it used to be you'd call somebody, right? Now you're just wasting time on Instagram or but you're getting paid to work, but you're not working, and so that way you're actually stealing. It doesn't look like it, right? Most of us are probably not going out and taking the purses from little old ladies and running away with it, but we do it in more subtle ways, and or you can steal somebody's time, right? You tell them you're going to be there at some place, and then
That's my issue.
yeah, and then you show up 10 minutes late, right? So it's a way of managing your time. So you make sure that you're not going to wait on the other person, but you make them wait on you. So you're wasting their time. It's like stealing their time.
Yeah.
So
Avoid taxes,
mhm.
also same idea, right? So we actually do not give. This is the issue. We do not really want to give. And then in our mind, we plant the seeds of being short in something, because we don't want to let go of something that we have. I think something that in Ukraine we are big on is to not to respect other people boundaries. I mean, people can come to somebody else's house, maybe not that much anymore, but not to respect other people time, also boundaries, like attract attention when another person didn't want to give me this attention. Like people sometimes do not think twice. So this is also like not only other people belongings, but also time and attention. What else? To be reliable, to pay your bills timely, to use copyright programs and applications like via paying versus, you know, pirated versions of it. Also books. What else? What
Yeah.
will happen if you have this karma? How you will see it, right? The GPS, because I love this 10 good deeds because or bad deeds, because they are like a GPS. If I see sick people around me, I know that this karma is very actively ripening, and I need to do quickly something with this, right? And basically, the idea is you need to help the person who suffers the most, like do Tonglien to this person. It's a great idea.
Yeah, you can tell that we've got kind of medium goodness, right, with stealing, because most of us have food. Most of us have housing, medical care. You know, there
If you
are.
have a telephone and a computer, you are already in 10%, high percent of the humanity.
Yeah, it's pretty. These are miraculous things, right? The result of good generosity. But then the food we have, it's associated with work, right? And it's not that work, like going to an office, is what, or you know, whatever you do, construction worker, flying a plane, being a doctor. That's not the cause for food. The cause for food was that you gave it to somebody else. You gave food to somebody else in the past. It's associated with work because it's kind of, you know, kind of medium good karma. Like there are worlds where, you know, the food just grows on the trees. You don't have to actually do anything. You can just pluck it.
Other beings who can get the food out of the air.
Yeah. Well, and there's stories of people, particularly meditators, that they can live off just the essence of a flower. You know, just they can smell a flower and they're full.
There are actually practices in Tibetan Buddhism how to do it, right?
Yeah, useful for retreat.
Is.
I needed food when I did my retreat. I ate a lot of beans and rice in retreat.
Yeah. So, what will what will happen if you have this kind of karma of stealing? People, I mean, you will be robbed by other people, right? Or somebody will take something that belongs to you. I remember I was purifying the seeds, and honestly, I don't have that much karma of stealing. I have issues, but comparing to, you know, to most of politicians probably and business people, I don't have it that bad. But I would consider that I have something to clean, and I cleaned it. And our luggage, I was in Rome with my son. He has been a big dancer, you know, like international competitions, and he danced in Rome, and the next day all our luggage was stolen in the center of Rome, the big suitcase. That's another seed. That's not respecting life, because these days I have a very bad allergy. Makes me cry and cough and other stuff. So our luggage was stolen completely, and I was consciously purifying the seeds. So it was amazing, because when the suitcase was stolen, and honestly, I didn't have that much. All the stuff was almost all there. Okay, I have had my coat, but it was already worn out, and all Andrei's suits were like the last time he wanted to wear for the competitions. And the only valuable thing was I had my practice, guru practice. in the I think also Medicine Buddha, and my work computer. That was kind of painful, but at the same time I had this feeling of relief, because it was very stupid, because people they had their suitcase stolen together with ours, and they had like brand new dresses, ballroom dresses, like 3,000-4,000 euros each. Like it's they were in tears and in tantrum, like completely hysterical, and I was kind of happy, and it was very weird. But this is how it looks when your bad seeds are ripening. Kind of, they steal something from you, but at the same time, you are happy in a very weird way. Like the burden was lifted from your shoulders. So what you see if you have the seeds, people around you, they are prone to stealing. They do not report their taxes. They corrupt their government or officials. People, they feel fine with corruption. What else?
It tends to, it's
Being
fairly obvious.
selfish is a good thing, right? Like it's okay that I want to get richer at the expense of other people, and it changes maybe your whole country. You see that corruption is at all the levels, and this is the result of these seeds. No resources, right? There are countries when they don't have enough food or enough water. Poor countries, no money also. So
Third, sexual misconduct. So this is doing anything that, I mean, adultery is going to be the biggest obvious one, where, having a sexual relationship with somebody in a committed relationship. And then it's going to also include anything that would cause, a committed partnership to separate, right? So it could be verbal also, right? It could be even on a mental level, it can happen. But that's and then this is one of the interesting correlations, karmic correlations, that you wouldn't necessarily expect. That if you conducted a lot of sexual misconduct, things around you will smell bad. Like
and you will see them as dirty.
Yeah, dirty, right? It reminds me, there's a famous actress from the early 20th century in the United States named Mae West. And she had a quote she was famous for. She said, "Sex is only dirty if you do it right." And it was meant to be funny. But the idea that sex is dirty, it's in our culture. And so, but it's literal. And it's funny because when people complain about things smelling bad, like, oh, well,
yeah, in our community, it's kind of a joke, right?
Yeah,
People, they tend to pretend they do not feel that something smells bad.
It's like you're playing a game of cards and you just showed your hand. Yeah, you don't want to let people know things smell bad.
Or that you are not satisfied because something is dirty, right? Because everybody, seeds of sexual misconduct.
Yeah. That's funny.
So how you, I think also we need to say that you can correct the seeds, right? Like how you improve your karma of killing. You try to help people to stay healthy, right? Different ways. How you improve your karma of stealing, you share what you have, maybe charity organizations. For me, the best charity organization is Schwensen Tower. I donate there every month, and Bill also does.
Well, all the cash is sitting in my Venmo. It's going to get to them.
Yeah, and
I've got $1,000 sitting in Venmo. I need to transfer to them.
Yeah, and Also, sexual misconduct, what you can do about it. First, you should be very careful with other people, and every time you do not know another person is committed or not, you should be more conservative, like think that they are, and then you will see. And it's actually easy. You talk to another woman or man, and you think that your partner is with you if you are committed, if you are married or you have committed relationship. So, and or if you are not, then pretend that another person is with their partner, and then you will not do anything wrong. Another thing that actually surprisingly can help you with this karma, if you know that you have it, because when these seeds will ripen of this, how to say, adultery hurts people so bad on a mental level, emotional level, that pain when the seeds ripen is almost is very difficult to tolerate. Like it is a big deal, probably the biggest pain, right? You can get like emotionally.
Oh, lots of them.
Yeah.
My grandmother said losing her son was the hardest thing that she ever went through in her life.
Maybe she didn't have the seeds.
Yeah.
So the how you can see that you have the seeds first. Okay, you may know that you did it, right? Then please clean it as fast as you can, because these seeds are crazy painful. Second is that your partner is cheating on you, right? You suspect, or you know, you see that you have to compete for your partner, right? Then these are all the indications that you should purify it.
And you see in the United States, the divorce rate's 50%.
Yeah.
And so that's if that's what you see, like I do, then that's the result of prior sexual misconduct, right?
Yeah.
That partners can't stay together.
If you did it, you get into a habit to flirt with other people, right? And you are more prone to do it again. Please be very careful with this. This is probably the most painful seed that can ripen emotionally.
You know, and now that you mention it, yes, I do recall, like when psychologists look at the most painful events in a life, a divorce is up at the top of it. Yeah.
Then what happens to other people? You can see other people that are cheating on other people. For me, it's always a very worrisome sign. To be honest, I do not see these people anymore. I
Yes.
remember I would know like a lot of people around me who would have some kind of strange relationship, and like that is called everything is complicated,
Yeah,
it does not feel right and happy, right?
No, it doesn't. And then it does change for the better. I'm surrounded by happy couples now. I mean, like people that like my brothers and like people we know in the Dharma community. I mean, I never hear of any complaints.
Not anymore, right?
Not anymore. Yeah, no. It's a lot of very happy couples.
Yeah, and how it changes your life. I can tell you from my experience, like in 90s, I was living in Poltava, and specifically in 90s, Soviet Union collapsed, and they would not be able to hire anybody to clean the streets because of all the scares in the system, and was a very low paid job. People would not want to work, and the streets were just dirty. And I was thinking, hey, it's dirty. Why is this so? Like, and then I moved to Kiev. It was nicer. And then when I realized I need to purify these seeds, like the streets really got nicer. I realized that Kiev maybe is one of the cleanest cities in the Europe, in Europe. And then I moved to France. And to be honest, I decided to purify more. And then guess what happened? I would go out and there would be, I'm sorry for saying, like dog's poop all over the place. And I was like, really?
I didn't see that when we were in Paris.
Not in Paris.
I'm
Yeah,
kidding.
like I was living in a very clean neighborhood. Everything was perfect except time to time you bump into a dog's poop, just in the center, and I was like, oh my god, ah.
Yeah, that's funny. I've heard other people comment that that's the case in France, that there, for whatever reason, there's dog poop all over the streets.
I had only one place where I would see it, not in Paris, just in Europe.
Mhm.
So anyway, and then I was very careful. Like I'm careful about this for probably over 10 years, more or less 10 years. And here, like the neighborhood we live in is like, I don't know, probably it is still dangerous to lick the streets with your tongue,
Yeah, I would.
but close to it, like.
Yeah.
I understand why Bill, when he came to see me in Europe, he said, kind of a little bit crappy. I was like, what? Europe is crappy. Then now I understand, like here, they really take care of all the, like all the places. I mean, in this neighborhood, I bet South Chicago does not look as nice. So we still have.
And we love France.
Yeah.
But anyway.
We do.
Next
Okay,
one.
next one.
Love France a lot.
Yeah, you can do an antidote by cleaning. Cleaning is an antidote for sexual misconduct, strange enough. Okay, next one. Lying.
Mhm. A lie is defined as any time, and this is useful, right? A lie is defined as any time you intentionally create an impression in somebody else's mind that's different than your own.
Mhm. It does not mean you didn't say what is true.
Yeah.
If you didn't say, it means you lied. If it's
So
not what a person understood.
So you could say something that's the truth, but if it creates the wrong impression in the other person's mind, that's actually a lie. Or you could simply not say something, and if it creates the wrong impression in somebody else's mind, that also is a lie.
So how you know that you have this issue? First, best of all, you remember you lied or were technically saying something that was not true. Second is you see people lying to you, right? You get what you gave. Then maybe you have a habit of lying. That was bad for me because for some reasons I was thinking that I don't have to, to share what I know, or it's up to me whether I want people to know the truth or not. I was thinking that's my personal stuff. Crazy, very stupid. And I remember when I was taking my vows, I was thinking, oh my God, how can I stop myself from lying at work? Because they would give, I was working in a huge corporation, like big company, and that is headquarters not far from here. And they would demand a lot from people, and I would just not have enough time sometimes to do, but I would pretend I'm on it, because otherwise I would have more troubles from my management. And I was thinking, it's impossible not to lie. It is impossible. Like, not even exaggerate, not even pretend you did already what you are just ready to do now. So it is possible not to lie. And unfortunately, I had bad karma for lying. And how it happened in my world, I see now countries that are lying to their people, like whole propaganda infected countries.
Which would now include the United States, which wasn't the case in the past.
And to be honest, if I would see this coming 10 or more years ago, boy, I would probably find a way not to lie. I would definitely be more creative.
And this is one of those things that if it's making the top 10 list, we must be doing it constantly, without even realizing it.
How else you can see people do not trust you? That same exact idea, like I was lying in the past. Okay, from other people, you see people lying, right? To be honest, I don't see it that much, but I still see this thing like related to the whole countries where there is a huge propaganda system, like on the level of reality, I still see it.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what will happen. So clean the seats, and I dedicate today's class to purify the leftovers of the scenes, because I don't want to lie and I do not want to see people lying around me.
And particularly important if you're going to go on and teach these things, that your words need to have power, and lying takes the power out of your speech. And the other side is, if you're very honest, your speech will be powerful.
It means everything you will say will come true.
No.
Cool?
Yeah.
Do you want it? Then never lie.
And I know I've mentioned this before. It's one of the major reasons Lincoln was able to do what he did, was that he was famous for being very honest. And so when time came for him to speak in public, his words were very powerful, and he was able to change people's minds.
Yeah. And for people who want to be famous on Instagram, you may want to have this one, because otherwise your speech will not have power to reach out to people.
Yeah.
Okay, the next one. Splitting people by talk, right? Divisive speech. That's a big one also, because consequences are actually not pleasant. Consequences are you cannot reach your goal. You're separated from your goal. You're separated from your family, from your loved ones, and friends leave you, family leaves you, everybody is wrestling with other people around you. It's not at all pleasant. So how I know that I did it? Maybe I remember, because I remember at some point in my life I was really splitting people, like bad. I mean, I would say that this nation is bad completely, and you cannot say it. It's not true. There are different people inside, and
it's all coming from you anyway. It's all coming from whatever you see is coming from you.
What is this divisive speech? If I say with somebody bad about another person, or even not bad, but bad enough that this person decides that he does not want to talk, or like it will worsen his opinion about another person, that's good enough to be a divisive speech. So if you know that you did it, or you see people who honestly enjoy rumors, like talking, discussing other people behind their backs, then you know that you have the sins. Or maybe you see wars in your reality, like whole nations split up and fighting, right? Or maybe you see people not reaching your goals, you cannot reach your goals, then probably you want to purify this one. What else? Habit, then you see people doing same things, and on a level of reality, wars, right? They also can be because of divisive speech.
3 minutes to an hour. How far are we going to go? Are we going to run a horse race and finish this?
Horse race finish. So don't judge other people. Try to get people together, right? To connect them, and Do not talk about other people issues, right? Focus on your own. Then you will be safe with this.
It's one of the reasons why these next four are all verbal. It's one of the reasons why retreat is nice, because you're not committing any verbal.
You do not lie, you do not do divisive speech,
No harsh words, no
and
idle talk.
idle talks. Okay.
And you're also not killing, stealing, or committing sexual misconduct. So, what?
Hopefully.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So harsh speech. What does it mean? It means that you say something that will offend another person, even if you use nice words, even if you are polite. But you know that another person will get hurt. What are the consequences? You hear something that is not pleasant, maybe not in the form of speech, maybe in the form of noise. We have our neighbor who is running her hell machine every night.
Yeah, our upstairs neighbor turns on this machine and it vibrates through the whole condominium and it keeps us awake.
How you call it? Sipa?
We don't know for sure what it is, but it's probably, anyway, we're guessing.
We're guessing that she has problems with sleeping, and there are like machines that will help you to get more oxygen.
Yeah, and so the solution for us, we can ask her, but the solution really is no harsh words from us.
And honestly, like I don't use harsh words, but I should be really careful to like I do not curse other people. I do not even blame them for over 10 years. But in this case, I should be very careful to give to another person the message that will definitely not hurt. Like I'm constantly exchanging myself with others to like hear, okay, the message I'm giving, is it really constructive or will it hurt, and I don't want another person to get hurt.
All of these things just make your life nicer if you start doing it. Just makes life easier, happier.
Another consequence is you see yourself and other people as ugly or not beautiful. This is also a consequence of harsh speech. What else? The reality changes, right? You see people that are not beautiful, not handsome, and maybe even the country, you do not see it as beautiful. Maybe you see it as kind of rough and ugly. Is that it? Yeah, I think that's it. Next one. Next one is the fourth out of bad deeds you can do with your speech is idle talk. And this is a funny one because in the beginning of your past, this is like a minor one. But the further you go, then it becomes the most important one. It does not only mean to talk something that is useless to other people, but also your actions, right? You getting involved in any useless activities, and we constantly do, unless we think we remember where things are coming from. This is my favorite out of all 10. Because boy, I have seen the consequences of these ones. Like my son, he was a very happy boy, and I have seen him spending his time playing computer games, and he would, it's not about computer games, you can do anything, but he was seeing himself as doing useless things. He would judge himself as wasting his time. And it took like a couple years, and boy, his self worse, dropped to below 0.
Mhm.
And I was shocked when it happened. So if you do
And,
useless things, you will not appreciate yourself.
and Andre's really kind-hearted and very talented, surrounded by people that love him, good-looking,
Yeah.
brilliant, like I said, kind-hearted, and yeah, his self-worth dropped. Idle speech.
Yeah. And also another thing is that people will not respect what you say, and they will not trust you.
There's also one of the things when you go into a retreat of a month or longer and you're silent, you know, first when you get in, you usually sleep for 2 or 3 days. And then the longer that you're in, the more energy you start having. And, you know, you're reciting prayers, but there's no idle speech at all. And you start not needing to sleep much. I mean, you get down to, 5-6 hours of sleep is all you need. And then what's really interesting is when you come out and the first time you start talking about, blah, 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 like you can feel your energy just crash. And you have to like go back home and like fall asleep and take a nap. You can just feel the energy leaving you. And we're walking around in this kind of tired state all the time because of our idle speech. And but it's really dramatic coming out of retreat. Everybody, it's like it'll just, even a simple conversation will wipe you out.
Yeah, and basically you will not do any idle speech if you will speak only meaningfully. So never to a third person who is not a decision maker and you are just blah, 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 complaining. Complaining and whining is automatically an idle speech. If you talk about things that will not matter anymore in 2-3 days, or you watch news that will not matter in 2-3 days, or you swipe your Instagram, like that will not matter in 5 minutes, even not forget about 2-3 days. This is all idle speech, and the ripening is horrible, to be honest, because it is getting to depression. Another possibility is you can really get depressed because you do not appreciate yourself. Self-value is equal to 0.
On to the next.
Yeah. Next, if you talk about rumors and well-known people, also same. Okay, 3 left, and they are quite easy ones. This is something that we constantly do in our mind.
By easy, you mean easy to do?
Easy to do. And easy to understand.
Yeah.
Jealousy, right? And jealousy is one word in English. In Russian, we have 2 different words for it. One word is when we want something that another person has. And another thing is that we do not want our partner to have a different partner. It's same word.
I think the definition of jealousy is one of those like really foundational ideas in all of these teachings that's very helpful. Jealousy is being unhappy when somebody else gets something good. Yeah. And even when you just understand that, even just understanding that definition helps you identify it in your own mind. And it's going through, if you're human, it's going through your mind constantly.
So how you know that you have this issue? First, you remember being unhappy when somebody gets what you wanted. And second is that you do not feel any satisfaction. You remember Mike Jagger? I can't get no satisfaction. Yeah. He definitely knew this, and he was probably guilty in this one. So you're constantly unhappy, right? And honestly, constant small unhappiness kills all your good seeds dramatically.
Mhm.
I can tell you because I have seen it in my mentorship groups with other people that are doing lots of great things, but a little bit unhappy in a small way. Then forget about your results. So what you see actually um, other people, right? They are jealous, they are fighting, they are competing, and the world is kind of a dangerous place.
Mhm.
So what you want to do? You want to be happy when somebody else gets what you want because you're smart. You know that your third flower ripens soon. You will get your results also, right? And maybe you will be praising other people. Be happy for other people getting rich. Try to be content and grateful. Mm. They also say that being conscious of the fact that everybody will die is an antidote to this one. Because we tend to be compassionate if we realize this fact, and we can be happy for other people. Anything else?
Mm.
Let's go. So
Anger,
ill will.
ill will, anger. Similar to jealousy, they're more alike than what you would think. Anger is being glad, being happy when something negative happens to somebody else. It's super common, right? Misery loves company.
Somebody did something bad to you, then something bad happens, and did it happen to you? And you say, karma. That's it. Number 9. So what are the consequences if you were happy when something bad happened, even to a bad person, right? Then the consequences will be you will not get any help, which is a dramatic one, right? You other people hurt you, you hurt them, and this is like a non-stop cycle, never-ending cycle. You see yourself as being a victim. So is there anything common how I can do this one? Yeah, criticize other people. Even in my mind, I'm constantly committing this one. The antidote is to feel compassion and to help other people. Do not say that, okay, that's your bad karma. Because actually you're committing this ill will, bad deed. Don't be proud that you're better than other people. This is why bad things happen to them. And do not judge other people. You do not know what they are going through. Do not compare yourself to other people also. Something that we can do almost instantly because we live this times of the generation. We can watch news or like Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and we get this seek attention to bad things happening to other people, like bad news, and then indulging in this bad news, like reality show, etc. How your reality changes, it becomes really a dangerous place when people, they are like wolves to each other, right? They do not help each other. They tend to chase other people. War conflicts, bad pandemics, you may find yourself in a place when it's kind of dangerous. Like old days, they would say rocky landscape. Nowadays, they say South Chicago. Or something like that. Like South Chicago is considered to be like more criminal to comparing to other parts.
Yeah, there's areas that are that safe.
Yeah. Okay. Yoo-hoo, the last one.
We're gonna make it
We're gonna make it
a little over.
a little over. Sorry, translators, and we really love you, and very grateful for your help. So the 10th one, I think this is so cool that we have it in these teachings, because other religious spiritual paths, they have a version of this 10, but they kind of don't have this one. It was lost somewhere on the way.
Oh, there's the idea of
Correct worldview, right?
yeah, or original sin in Christianity, right? Ignorance.
Yeah, but it's not in the 10 Commandments.
Yeah.
So it means that I do not understand where things are coming from. I think they're either random or any other explanation you love, but not that everything I do, I think, and I say will give a result, will gets recorded in my consciousness and will ripen as a result.
Karma.
Boy,
We could say karma in this class.
the consequences are horrible, right? Because this one is the bad one. If you know this one, if you respect this one, then it will be very easy not to commit the other 10. If you don't have this one, then somewhere there will be a weak chain.
This is the root. This is the root of all the other problems, and why the direct perception of emptiness is so important, because it's at that point that you can start permanently getting rid, you have permanent cessations of these wrong views. Like once you've had the direct perception of emptiness, you would never again doubt that karma is a valid explanation for the way the world works, or that, you know, the other side of karma, that things are empty, that things are not self-existent, that you're seeing them the way you're seeing them, you're experiencing them the way you're experiencing them, only because of something you did in the past.
Mm-hmm. So what are the karmic consequences? Like, to be honest, they're so huge, it is even difficult to understand. But every single bad thing ever happened to you is because of this one. Because other 9, they are soaked with this one. So basically, you increase your suffering, like overall, all your addictions. And by the way, it is incorrect to think that you have 1, 2, 3, 10 addictions. We have millions, billions of addictions we are not aware of. So every single bad addiction, every single addiction, every single negative emotion you ever have, every single moment that your mind shifts from its natural happy state to something else, is because of this one.
Yeah, that's a hard one for me to really appreciate, is that anytime your mind is disturbed, that's coming out of a mental affliction. It's coming out.
It is always related to addictions.
To ignorance, right? Yeah. Like anytime your mind's disturbed.
Yeah. So the consequences that you can also trace is every time you misunderstand something, it is the seed is a misunderstanding of the nature of reality, that it is empty and nothing should be the way it is. Everything comes from my past deeds. Anytime you feel stupid, for example, people, they have issues with mathematics or anything else, any understanding comes from this one. This one is the seed. And if, I don't know, if you know people who were kind of following this path and they decide that this is not for them, they stop following it, watch how they change. Like you can literally see they become stupid.
It can go the other way too.
Yeah.
And the hopeful thing is that because it's ignorance, wisdom will win out. And like all of your suffering is caused by a misunderstanding. And eventually, wisdom will win. You will get rid of that ignorance and your suffering will end, which is the famous last question.
Wait until the last sentence, because there's one more thing that is important. I wanted to say about this one, because another big consequence of this incorrect worldview is that people think that bad things that cause suffering are good for them and nice, and they want them.
Yeah,
and
wrong
it's
idea.
crazy.
Yes.
Yeah, it's crazy. People, they literally hurt themselves. Like there was a movie about this Dr. Hannibal Lecter, the second part when
Silence of the Lambs.
the second one, I think it's
didn't
Hannibal or something. Yeah, it's a horror movie, and he basically was killing people for their ignorance, in his opinion. And he made a guy eat his own brain, like, and enjoy it, and it was horrible. But I was thinking, oh my God, this is exactly what people are doing, they're eating their own brains, and they think it's all great and nice and pleasant. And
yeah, I mean, you see it. I mean, that's yeah, you see it quite frequently. People like overeating badly, and they'll sit down to some very unhealthy meal and they're eating it and enjoying it, and it's literally killing them. Lots of things like that.
So how to stop? I mean, you see other consequences. You see other people behaving stupidly, and you live in the world where dharma is wearing out, is dying, basically. You have less and less practitioners, you have less and less teachings, and
which that's something that we can also be very happy about. When I first started studying this in college in the late 80s, even late 80s, early 90s, there was concern that this entire body of knowledge, body of wisdom was going to die out, that there was nobody that was going to be able to say that. And now, I mean, we were just going through this morning the list of 110 books that 112, is it 112? 112 books that Geshe-la has got, and the teachings are clear, and there's a lot of people that are understanding and practicing. I think it's going to survive. We can be very proud of that.
Guess what happened? Did you work on this teaching?
Yeah, I worked a little.
I was giving away all my money to follow the teachings, to fly to Arizona. I mean, in our world, it is this one is getting a little bit better.
Oh, but it's actually really exciting.
Yeah, so
good
job.
Good job.
And you can fix this one by studying ACI courses, taking vows, studying emptiness, reading McMichael's books, following his classes, his Schwanzen Tower classes. This is what he said is the best antidote and the best thing to do if you want to see emptiness directly. Follow his mixed nuts classes.
Being here today counts also, right?
Yeah. So today's class counts. You can choose it as an antidote. So that's it. If
famous
you
last
are
question.
Wise, and wise means that you understand where the reality comes from, right? And then you can keep the rest of these 10 good deeds.
And the famous last question when you're getting your Geshe degree is, make sure I get this exactly right, your memory's better than mine, but is there an end to suffering? And then the answer is,
the truth is more powerful than a lie.
Yeah, the truth is more powerful than. And so all of this, all of our suffering comes from ignorance and a misunderstanding. It's a mistake. It's not inevitable. It's a mistake. And because of that's the case, we can change it. So
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, everybody.
большое спасибо.
Next week, we will do a questions and answers session on ACI 2. I think it will be very cool. One of the best courses ever.
Yeah.
And in 2 weeks, same time, we will do a public talk about benefits of meditation. And it will be for the first time, Bill will be teaching about meditation. He will not be flying. I hope so. You don't fly. The 2nd of June, I looked it up already.
Okay.
So, and because we have some very cool plans. Number 1 is we will teach ACI 3 as it was taught by McMichael with a live 3-year retreatant.
Hopefully I'll still be alive.
All stars starring. And because we also started to think about a course about meditation, like ACI 3 is great, gives all the lists, but people usually need also like
a little
instructions.
more instruction, more detailed instruction to help you go through each of the levels in a practical in the outside world.
So this one is planned, but it will be planned as a commercial project. And
meditation is really, it's extraordinary. It's one of the bigger clues that they know what they're talking about, because it's something special.
And this is the only way you can get out of here, get out of samsara. You should meditate. We all should meditate. Okay. Thank you, Lena Smirnova, who is organizing of this event, who's organizing these events. Thank you, all translators, all the technical staff, recording. I can see Artyom and probably Zhenya, as always, is recording. Oh boy, we have also other translators today. You are amazing. Please stay with us. And if it's true,
can we switch to the?
You always can, my love.
Yeah, I like switching to the.
Okay.
Gallery.
And if it's true that we spent this 1 hour and almost 30 minutes talking about these ethical principles, then let us be successful with implementing them and changing this whole reality. I'm not cursing because I'm following my 10 ethical principles. Let's see this reality as something nicer, safe, beautiful, inspiring, and happy.
Should we apologize for going overtime, or should we be happy it didn't take 5 hours?
Awesome. McMichael says the both. Apologize for going over time, but we really wanted to go into some details.
Yeah,
It's so beautiful. It's really a GPS, right?
Yeah,
This is how you can figure what you should do.
It's how you get happy, right? You look at the problem and then you fix it.
Yeah. McMichael said something. I think maybe we should do a company with this name. Shut up and fix it. Okay.
Thank you.
See you next week.
Очень благодарен.
Очень.